Hello, automation tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play some more Factorio with me, BlueAnkylo. In our last episode, I showed off our fancy system here for research, as well as we upgraded our furnaces. Off camera, I did a couple little tweaks, just changed the direction of some belts, sort of to focus more iron up towards the steel production, because we actually produce... The way I set this all up, we actually still make more green and red beakers than we can use. Unless, I mean, I'm not researching right now, but even when I am researching, it still produces them faster than we can use. So, we're going to repurpose a bit of our iron to be steel and stuff, which we need a lot of steel for the next tier of buildings. I also threw down a couple radar dishes, seeing as we're actually a little bit ahead on power right now, due to all of our steam engines. So we're currently at probably... what is that, about 3 out of 4.5? What's that, 75% or 66%? Yeah, it's probably 66. So we still have a bit of room to add some electricity to the network. You can see most of the power goes to the drills right now, and even though I only have 4 radar dishes, they actually use almost as much just on their own. The rest of the stuff is pretty low because, for one thing, the assembling machines aren't actually running. So I might have misinformed you guys earlier. When they're not running, they actually don't use electricity. So a lot of them are just sitting there doing nothing because there's no room to output anything. You can see, like, there's basically nowhere to put anything. Even the green line's all filled up to there. So while they're not running, we're not using any electricity. As soon as we start researching, it should change. So let's test it out here. I think I researched a bunch of gun damage last episode, and our turrets should be doing lots and lots of damage now. Maybe check that. I think we're going to go either oil or something like that pretty soon. I suppose we could very quickly upgrade our weaponry. Sure, that's a quick one. We'll do that first, and then we'll start working on some new tech. My goal for today is to maybe either start looking at oil or plastic or something. We also need to find more stone. That is one of our shortcomings. We don't need a ton of these stone bricks, but we do need some. And actually, the steel's doing pretty good here. That's nice. I think I added one more row. Oh, that was really fast. That was crazy how quickly. So anyway, now we can build piercing rounds, which I've never used before, and grenades. That's kind of cool. Probably test those out eventually. We can also start thinking about robotics. That sounds fun. Wow, all kinds of cool stuff. We'll worry about that a little bit later. For now, let's get back on track. Let's get advanced electronics, because this is a prerequisite for tons of stuff. So let's get that quick. But yeah, I did add a couple more iron mines because we needed more ore. I think I'm at about the right number of ore right now. It just kind of makes it to the bottom, but it doesn't really stack up extra or anything. Also, I forgot to say, if we keep an eye on the map here, you should see areas, little squares being scanned by the radar. Maybe there's none going right now. That'll show me, game. Try to demonstrate something and it stops working, of course. Oh well, no big deal. They are working nonetheless. Was there one? They kind of fade in and out. Oh, there's one, you see? This one's just fading in right here. So it was black area, but now it's scanned. Once it's finished scanning, it'll move on to the next one, probably. Oh, there's a couple more. So yeah, that's kind of how the radar works. And while I was talking, we finished our research. Good. So now we can build smart chests. I don't know what those do yet. Wires and circuits that we can't actually make yet, because we're going to need a bunch of other resources, basically. So we could start thinking about lasers. So we get laser turrets. That would be useful. Logistics. We can't do anything with a blue research yet. We could look at solar energy. I think what I want to do is get towards... well, the modules are pretty cool too, to be honest. I have looked at modules a little bit. You can insert them into certain factories, certain buildings. Let's get oil. Oil is the next main resource. So we've got copper, iron, coal, and stone, and a little bit of wood. The next big one will be oil. And oil is really complicated. I've only barely started learning it, so we're going to have to learn together. Just want to double check. Yeah, the power's still good. Now that everything's running, you can see the draw is quite a bit higher due to the labs working and the assembling machines and stuff, now that we're actually researching. Okay, so, what was I going to do? We do need stone. We need to let's find some oil. Where are we going to, let's plan out our oil production a little bit here. Oil, it's kind of little spots on the ground, these little pink ones. So there's 4 here. I think that will be enough for our entry-level oil. Is there anything else? There's some over by our little stone. This is definitely the closest, though. I'll have to find some more stone blocks too at some point. I think that's coal, iron. Lots of oil up here. That'd be a good spot too. This was our spawn spot. Actually, there's a lot of oil over here too in that area. So we got a few oil supplies. Stone is way down there. That's maybe the closest stone area. Wow. Definitely have to clean out some more enemies before we go there. So, crude oil. You can see the yield on it. Yeah, you want ones that have high yield, if I remember correctly. They last longer, or maybe they actually extract oil quicker or something. We'll see soon enough. We're almost there. Let's just clean a bit of space up here so we can prepare. In fact, what I want to do is we're going to need more pipes. Oh, actually, you can only hold 32 in a slot. Anyway, oil research is done. Good. That was pretty quick. Let's just casually research something else while I'm starting to show this off. We will need plastics pretty soon, too. And sulfur. There's all kinds of good stuff we're going to need soon. Let's see. What do I want to go on? What do we want to do while I'm just talking about stuff here? Oh, fluid handling. Yeah. Because we're going to start dealing with fluids now, so that'll be good. Now that we're going to be looking at oil and stuff, that'll be important. Anyway, what I wanted to do was start building a few more pipes. And I was planning on getting rid of a couple trees so we had more space here, of course. I suppose we need power too, actually. I should have done that first. Okay, I've still got some big poles. Let's get the power first. There's a big pole right there. Oh man, no, it's only going to take like one. That's great. I love these big poles. So much easier to spread stuff out. And I even brought a couple lights with me so when it's dark we can do that to help out. Okay, so we've got crude oil. I've got some spare pipes and stuff to play with. We're going to use... where is it? Pump jacks. There we go. So these aren't too hard to make, but you do need steel. That's why we set up the steel factory specifically. We'll make 4, because I found 4 oil spots here. And what else can we make that's new? Oil refinery, chemical plants, those are new. I think that's all that's new right now. Oh yeah, we researched these underground, the faster belts. I might make some of those later on too. And the smart chest, I have to figure out how that works too. I have a feeling the fast belts just move quicker. They probably don't really do that much else other than move stuff around like normal. Alright. So we've got... Do I have any yet? They definitely take a while to build. That's fine. Just give it a second, guys. Just give it a second. Alright, we got one. So, pump jack. Fits right on it. Has to be directly on the center of the oil patch. And you can rotate it as usual. And of course it needs electricity. That should be able to power both of them. And then I suppose I'll put one... Oh, I can't put it there. Actually, shoot. Can I move it? Yeah, there we go. Well, actually, let's put it right there. I just don't like having too many overlapping power lines. That should work pretty good. Or, no it won't. Oh yes, it's just not close enough to the big one. Ah! Okay, you know what? Fine. Be that way. We'll use one there, and then... Try to bother. I'm trying to be too tricky now. What's the farthest it can go? It can go that... Good job, research, interrupting me again. You can go that far, and that far. There. Perfect. Okay, so we've built one more pump jack. We'll put that there. Now these things, they use a bit of electricity, 90 kilowatts, and they will connect up to pipes. So we put a couple down, and you should be able to see a little bit of oil in them. So, crude oil, and it will come out at a certain rate. 1.1 per second there, 0.9 per second there, 1.4. This was the really good one. So yeah, I think it basically just affects the flow rate as it comes out. So that's kind of cool. And this one will be a little bit slower than the other ones, I think. Let's just connect all the pipes up. I don't think you have to worry about direction with fluids, as long as it's the same fluid. It shouldn't really matter too much. I could do underground pipes, but whatever, this is fine. Okay, and then the last one, here we go. And probably more pipes. I didn't make enough. Well, that's how it goes. On this channel, you know, I don't count perfectly or anything. Alright. So that's our oil supply. That will get us altogether around 4 points per second, which is pretty good. 4 I don't know, liters, or probably more than a liter, but 4 units of oil, let's just say. And we can now bring that oil somewhere useful and start doing stuff with it. On the other hand, there's not a whole lot of things you can do with crude oil. I suppose I should be researching something. We can't do advanced oil yet. We're going to want sulfur, so let's start sulfur up probably. Sulfur and plastic. We want to get the base materials as soon as we can. I think I also finished... yeah, the storage tank. What I'm going to do here... I'm actually going to put like 4 storage tanks, I think. Yeah, that'll be fine. And I'm going to use these just to hold on to some oil down here. Well, how would you make an oil pipeline? Would you put the storage right where it comes out or right before where you need it? Depends on where we actually use the stuff. I suppose it's probably going to connect up all to the main stuff at our big base. So I should bring the pipes a little bit closer to the iron and stuff, because we're probably going to want to automate some more with it later on. That would probably be the smart way to go. So let's underground it as far as it will go. Underground pipe gets about that far before you have to do another one. 10 squares, I think? Something like that. Oops. And this just... the reason I'm doing this specifically is just so that it's easier for us to get around. If you leave pipes all over the place, it kind of gets in the way. But that will do the same thing. The oil will get up here just fine. And you'll be able to run back and forth instead of having pipes blocking everywhere you go. Right, that makes sense. Okay, so we've got up to here. Let's do a turn. Probably didn't need to put the second pipe there, but no big deal. Okay, put there. This isn't too hard, is it? This is pretty easy. Now, where do we want it to hook up with? I suppose underneath is fine. It depends on what we need to use. I don't know if I need to use the iron or not. It probably will need steel or something at some point. But let's just hook it up to about here to start with. And that will do. So what I want to do here, I guess, is this is where I'm going to put a couple spare... We can split the oil. Unlike the conveyor belts, oil will fill up every direction it connects to, so you can actually split it. We're going to just use some storage here, I think, and I can just rotate like this. Well, let's do it like this. We'll do 2 on each side. Actually, not a huge fan of that layout. Let's do 2 by 2 in a square. I think it'll look a little bit nicer. They do connect up sideways as well, obviously. There we go. Actually, I like the way that looks a lot better. So these things will now fill up on oil. So all the oil is coming out of our pump jacks, transporting its way up here and getting stored now, which is good. So we've got a bunch of crude oil storage. The other thing I know from experience is we're going to need water up there as well. So let's get that started at least while I do this, seeing as we're kind of thinking about that kind of stuff right now. So we're going to need a water pump, which I always forget where you get it from, and a bunch more of these. Let's do... I'm going to need some more iron. I'm running out of iron pretty quick here. But yeah, we're going to also bring up some water with it, because we're going to need water for a couple more processing. I think to make sulfuric acid, you need sulfur and water, so you'll see. This is all going to make sense eventually, trust me. Plastic is another one we're going to need. We already know that you can't build a lot of the advanced circuits without plastics and sulfur and all these good things. So we're going to start production, basically. That's why I have that crude oil stockpiling right now, so we've got some ready. Get the basic ingredients first, I think. Makes sense, right? Okay. I don't know why I'm chopping all these trees down. It's just fun. Okay. Let's focus. Focus, Blue. Luckily, one of the handy things here is pumps don't take electricity, so I don't have to worry about connecting them to the circuit. So I think I'll do the same thing with the water. We'll do it mostly underground, again, just to keep things less complicated. A little bit less complicated is good, right? Hopefully I have enough pipes, because I'm kind of low on iron plates at the moment. But if I have enough to get back to base, we're solid. And I'm going to want to build probably some more storage. I don't know if I really need to store water But I probably will anyway. I'd rather have a stockpile of it somewhere than none at all. And this time I want to do... whatever, we can just turn right there, that's fine. I don't know if... I'm pretty sure these can overlap each other, the pipes underground. I just want to see here... I'm just going to do a quick test. But I'm pretty sure... yeah, you can go under other pipes. So that's 2 pipes underground in the same spot on that tile. And it made no difference. Pretty handy. What you guys think? Yeah, I definitely am a fan of underground pipes. Definitely a fan. Takes a little bit longer to build, but I think it's definitely a smart plan. Okay, so this time the water... I didn't make the storage... okay, I need some iron. Of course I need something else. I would never have everything ready to go. Good news is we've got a fair number of iron plates stockpiling, which is really useful. And let's build... where are those things? 1, 2, 3, 4 storage tanks. And a bit more pipes. It's important to queue up the ground pipes before the normal pipes if you're trying to do what I'm doing, because if you queue up the normal pipes first, they'll be used to create the underground pipes, because it uses 10 pipes each. So you're kind of smarter if you want both to queue up those first and then those afterwards. Right? That makes sense. Okay, so yeah, it actually used up all my normal pipes in the recipe. Where am I going to put my water storage? In fact, I should have just left it underneath here. You know, okay, sorry. Let's not be totally wasteful. We'll put it below the iron, below the oil. I forgot just how much space that stuff took up. Storage pipes, all the storage things. So we'll turn here. And... come on, game. There we go. And then we'll put all the water storage down here. Too far away. Alright. Keep getting a little bit ahead of... just a little bit ahead of myself. Okay, plastics are researched. Oh man, I just can't get enough of how quickly this is researching. This is way better than the first time I played, and research took forever. So we can get flammables now. I think it will require resources we don't even have yet. Batteries with sulfur. There's lots of good stuff coming up now. Electric furnaces. We still don't have the ability to make advanced circuits. We're just going to slow down for a little bit. Trains. Jeez, so many cool things. Slow down. Just take your time, Blue. Researching is... I'm basically researching faster than I can build this stuff now. Rocket defense. That sounds awesome. Oh, modules. Yeah, let's start those going. I do want to get modules started. I'll show those off when I research them. Okay, so the water is getting this far. Good. As usual, just like with the oil, well, water is probably less important to stockpile up, but you know, I might as well. I'm pretty sure I can use this line from the oil and it will still draw out of here. Well, one thing I could do is I could add that so that it comes out the far pipe too, maybe. I don't know if that's important or not. I don't know how fluid dynamics works exactly in this game. I know these are filling up. This one first, although they're kind of balancing. Yeah, they are all balancing. So I assume the oil will travel anywhere in the network, basically. Okay, so water storage, same idea, except I'll do it on the south side. We'll do it here, 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 and here. There we go. That looks pretty. Alright, let's see how quickly it fills up. Faster than the oil, that's for sure. I don't think you'll need more than one pipe for... more than one water pump for a long time. That's a lot of water. That's way faster than the oil. Okay, good. I'm glad I set the oil up first. So we've got water and oil. Good. So then the next step will be the oil refinery. Let's start making some stuff. We'll build one oil refinery and then one chemical plant. And I can start showing off what those do. You can see over here, now that we've unlocked it, some of the recipes. Sulfuric acid, sulfur plus water, but you can't build it on your own, basically. The idea is it requires a chemical factory. Basic oil processing, you get a bunch of other stuff from oil. You can make solid fuel, you can make lubricant. Sulfur requires petroleum gas. Plastic bars require petroleum gas. We can fill up crude oil barrels now as well. And then you can see all the stuff that goes into these fancy advanced circuits. Plastic bars for that. Sulfuric acid and plastic bars for that stuff. So it gives you a bit of an idea of where we're headed on the production today. Okay. So I've actually finished up my oil refinery now. These things are a little bit more important how you orient them, and you definitely want to leave some space around them to connect up to other stuff. So I'm going to put it, let's say, right here, because I'm not going to need more oil storage, I don't think. Actually, I'm going to put it... If I keep that line straight, I'm going to actually... Yeah. Well, no, one more down. Sorry. Okay, there we go. My idea is I want to be able to... if I need oil somewhere else, crude oil, I want to be able to go that way. Although I'm not 100% sure if there's anything else that needs crude oil at the moment. But that will do for now. I suppose we ought to bring some power down here now. Can't quite make it in one jump, so we'll leave one kind of close to these, I suppose, and then this will jump down. Good. Okay, so crude or oil refinery. Oh, you know what I'm going to be doing? This will drive me nuts. It's going to be too hard to get around here. Change my plan up a little bit. Let's put that to there, and let's make a little gap to walk in. There we go. Now we can get around just a little bit. I'm going to try to remember to do that here and there, just so it's easier to get around stuff. So, when you have these fancy buildings, you get to choose sort of what you want them to create. And sometimes it depends on your research and stuff. An oil refinery only seems to refine oil, although I think eventually, I'll show you that in a second. Where is it? Advanced oil processing? I expect this will enable another option on the oil refinery. And I think it just gives you a different sort of percentage of stuff. I'm not 100% sure how it all works. Now, one thing you can notice is there's, on the inputs, 2 black drops for oil. Petroleum gas is the black thing with little white... I think that's like the carbon chain, what it looks like in chemistry. And we've got orange for, I think, light oil, and red for heavy oil, if I remember correctly. Put a light down just so you guys can see a little bit better, maybe. So, the oil processing plant, it has done one cycle, because it has lots of oil, but it's got nowhere to put any of that stuff. It won't run unless all 3 are being extruded, basically. So, you can see, actually, did you see the flame turn back on? The flame means it's working. It's also going to use a lot of electricity. I probably am approaching my electrical limit here. No, I've still got a little bit to spare. We're getting pretty close though. This thing does suck up a ton of power. So anyway, now it's working, but these little teeny pipes will fill up very quickly. It's basically 10 units per square, and that's basically 2 cycles. It'll be full right there. It's got nowhere to put stuff. Okay. One thing to sort of keep in mind is it does output a little bit more petroleum gas than oils. 3 heavy, 3 light, and 4 petroleum gas. Those numbers probably matter later on when you're trying to really balance stuff, because you want it to keep using all of this. One thing I will do again, just to make sure it keeps running, 4, 5, 6. We'll put 2 storage tanks each for this one. And in fact, I will do a small little gap for each of them, just so we can get around. We'll leave 2 squares each. Okay, and then a normal pipe. Although the center one, okay, no. Space is going to be an issue here. But I want to put some storage tanks just so this stuff starts building up. The problem is the middle one's not going to have space, basically, the way I did this. We can put that like this. This one can go like that. And then the center one just has to go forward a little bit more. Oops. This will definitely get a little bit tricky as we build up more and more. Okay, so anyway, that should keep this oil refinery running for a while these storage tanks fill up. It's not going to be pretty. In fact, again, I would rather this was basically all easier to walk through. Good. In fact, that's how I want everything to look. Just straight from one station to the next. It's not super important, it just makes my life a little bit easier to get around. Alright, good. So we can get around, everything's underground, which is good. We've got petroleum gas filling up in these tanks. We've got light oil and we've got heavy oil. You can probably already tell the petroleum gas, these two tanks will fill up faster than the others. We've got water down there. Okay, so the next thing to start figuring out is the chemical plant. I'm just going to put one down here first to show you guys. So we've got recipes. We've got sulfuric acid. This is the one we really want. You can also turn the 3 other products solid. We can turn light oil into solid fuel, petroleum gas to solid fuel, or heavy oil to solid fuel. I don't know what solid fuel is for yet, so we don't really care about those just at the moment. We will want petroleum gas to turn into plastic bars, so we need coal and gas to get that. And we'll want sulfur eventually. In fact, sulfuric acid straight into sulfur. Or no, sorry, the other way around. Sulfur straight into sulfuric acid. Both require water, so we're going to use the stuff down here. There's also lubricant, which I haven't had to use for anything yet either. Okay, so first goal, we want to get some sulfuric acid. How are we going to do that? Well, we need to get this part down here so we can get it to the water station, because I want the chemical plant to hook up. I wish... One thing, I don't know if the game has it or not, but I really think they should add, is the ability to switch where the output slots are. I would rather petroleum gas came down here for my current situation, and then switch that with heavy oil. I don't think you can change those other than just rotating the whole machine, which doesn't do what you want it to do. I want to be able to change which output is which, but maybe you're just not allowed to do that. So, let's bring some power down this way. What are we doing? We're under attack. We're under attack. We're okay up here. Let's just quickly make sure everything's okay. Took some damage, so we want to heal that up before we take... Oh, I forgot to show you guys too. I was just testing out the walls a little bit. I just put down a few walls. I don't really have enough stone to really do a whole lot of wall building, so let's just forget about that. But, you know, I was just building a couple just to see what it looks like. I don't really have automated stone yet, so we're not going to worry about that too much. The easiest way to get it where I want it to go will be to try to just underground most of this to where I need it. How far can we get? We can get there. Don't want to block up the inputs to those ones either, so we've got to be a little bit careful. Alright, and then switch directions and underground over this way a bit. We'll put it right about here. That should be fine. And we'll set up our chemical plant. We want the inputs on this side. Okay, so we're going to set this one to make... Oh, it also needs iron plates. Oh, no. I wasn't thinking of that. Okay, hold on. Hold the horses. I forgot. Sulfur's easy enough to make. But sulfuric acid require... Oh, no way. And sulfur's also a physical solid. I forgot about that. Oh, I missed the iron plates. So how are we going to do this? We need water. So that means I should actually be running this the other direction. The iron plates are closer on this side. Okay, well let's test out that theory about the underground belts. Remember when I was wondering if you could use these to go more than like 4 squares? Because I'd like to get some iron plates. Well, I don't know. I don't know. This is gonna get this. I might have to manually move the iron plates. Honestly, this may just take too much fiddling around for it to work to be really productive. Come on, give me some of these. It takes an awful lot of iron. Wow. How much does this stuff take? It takes underground belts, so it's 10 iron plates per one of those, plus a couple for that, plus a ton of iron gears. It definitely uses a lot of iron for these fast underground belts. No joke. Alright, we got pretty good iron supply though. No big deal, no big deal. Okay, come on game. Speed along here. Here we go. Alright, so what I want to see is, can you make these things connect? Well, let's just somewhere clean like this. How far? No, it's still only 4 squares underground. Drat. That does make it. I like the fact that the pipes can go 10. It makes it a lot easier to sort stuff out. This still only gives you 4 spots. Drat. Basically, I think we're going to not have automated iron in introduction. We're just going to have to do that manually. We're going to have to bring the iron down here ourselves. And that's just how it's going to be. So that's fine. Don't worry about it. So what did I say? We got the chemical plant. We'll put it right here. Actually, we're going to want 2. Well, let's just get this stuff working to start with, and then I'll worry about possible automation later on. Let's just get it running, basically, before this episode's totally over. That's the one goal for today, is to get stuff working. So this one needs sulfur and water. Let's start with sulfur then. Did I run out of underground pipes again? Okay, I've still got lots of iron, so we're doing okay on that stuff. Chemical plant. So this guy's going to output sulfur, which is a solid, and then this guy's going to input more oil. Or wait, what am I talking? This is sulfur. This is more water, iron, more iron. They both take iron plates. No, just the one. Sorry. Sorry, guys. This is complicated. All these different recipes. Okay, and no, that's too close. That's pointless. All right. So connect that. Connect that. Oh, I did it. See, again, I actually did it backwards. The water has to be on this side. Drat. Yeah, that's definitely something that I think could be improved, is if the game adds a way to change which slot stuff has to go into. I think that'd be really good. Really, really handy. Luckily, with my underground pipes, you know, we can sort it out without too much trouble. So we got water and petroleum gas coming in. We've got a fair amount of petroleum gas stored up. The oil refinery is working. So now it should be outputting sulfur. Unfortunately, well, luckily, I guess, it just does build up inside of its own machine. Let's get this stuff to output onto a conveyor belt, like normal. And then we'll just keep it with yellow inserters for now. Like I said, I don't think it matters for physical goods. I don't think it matters where you put it onto the machine. It just matters the pipes if you have to use liquid. Pretty sure that's how it works. Am I okay just throwing that in there like that? Yeah, it's got lots of water, so that's good. Now, the only thing so far, this machine will be automated just fine. No problem. It'll use up water and gas to make sulfur. Sulfur will end up here. Sulfur will get in here with water, but we don't have a way of getting iron plates. So what all I'm going to really do for now is a temporary solution. We're just going to put a chest down with an inserter. Actually, let's do it somewhere where I don't have to power it. Add an extra power station. Okay, and then all we're going to do for now is stock this with iron plates. And that'll make sure it runs for a fairly long time. Let's go pick up a little bit more iron and we'll finish this episode off before too much longer with our improvements. So basically we have to manually pick up iron right now. Let's actually switch this to fast. There we go. Look how much faster that is. I think that's more than double speed. That's crazy. I should have done that a long time ago. That's awesome. Cool. Alright, so we've got sulfur production. Actually, do I want it? I don't know if I'm going to use sulfur in anything else yet. What is sulfur in? I know it's in sulfuric acid. I can make a chest and save up some sulfur. Well, actually, you know what? Instead of using the old pipe like that, let's do it slightly differently here. Let's go... How am I going to do this? Oh, I should have spaced this out just a little bit more. Actually, I'm going to do that. We're going to put fast ones, because why not? Wrong way. Okay. And we're going to leave a chest in the middle. I think this will work. And then we're going to put this down one square over. And then I'm going to have to move that chest again, of course. Put the pipe here. And redo this part. Unfortunately, I'm going to extend the power now, thanks to my messing around. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, and then add power. You can actually put the power station in here. Actually, that kind of looks symmetrical a little bit. That's not bad. Okay, so this thing now, you have to select sulfuric acid again. And we have to put the plates back in. And it should start producing... Yeah, it's already got sulfuric acid. Okay, so then we output from one of the pipes. I'm already out of pipes. Always running out of stuff, I know. And then we're going to make 2 more storage tanks. And that will do for this episode. So basically, my idea here was I wanted this chest in the middle because it'll stock up more than like 5. More than 5 sulfur. And if I ever need sulfur, it'll be ready to go. So I think that's kind of clever. It's kind of fun. Instead of using a conveyor belt like we usually do. Yeah, that's pretty good. This guy's working like crazy. In fact, I'm glad I put a fast one because it can barely keep up with how quickly we produce sulfur, interestingly enough. Okay, so this is working. We've got sulfuric acid. Let's save some in storage pipes. Again, I have no idea where this is all going to connect to eventually, but for now, this will do. So these will fill up with sulfuric acid. And we will deal with the next step of the production chain next episode, I think. We're going to want to get plastics working, and then we're going to start figuring out what to do with this sulfuric acid, now that we've got that far. Alright folks, thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I know I forgot my research for a little bit there, but I was just getting too fast. It's just too fast. Have a great day, folks.